All right, folks, we're ready for another Manic Monday. As the first Manic Monday that returned was History Maker Baseball. Today we are going with Strat-O-Matic, but I'm going old school Strat-O-Matic, or at least what I think perceived to be old school Strat-O-Matic, and that is Strat-O-Matic Basic. Haven't played the Basic in a while, but determined to do it today. Just to, like I said, it's Manic Monday, so you want to do things that are kind of out of the ordinary. At least that's the whole purpose of it, is just to have a one day a week where just go a little different from the norm and get out of the routine to try to make Mondays a little brighter. All right, so Strat-O-Matic Basic. What's the game? Well, it's going to be the first game one of the 2001 World Series between the New York Yankees and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I've got the score sheet in place, and I may need to move this over just a touch to be able to fit everything in here. The score sheet, at least anyway, I think that now fits or comes very close to it. Probably need to raise it up some more to get the line score in there. I think that's going to finally do it. I think that'll do it now. All right, so like I said, it's Manic Monday, 2001, Game 1, World Series, Arizona and the Yankees. Starting pitchers for today's game, Curt Schilling for the D-backs and Mike Mussina for the Yankees. And as you can see, we're doing the basic side of the card, not the super advanced side of the card, but just the basic side of the card. And on this old Strat board, or the Strat board, the board that comes with the Strat, the basic side it's kind of geared for that, to be used for that. So I'm using all the little accoutrements that came with the game originally. The little pegs, got those. Got the board. I'm using the original Strat-O-Matic dice, those little puny little things they give you. So I will be using that as well. Do have the score sheet over here. Let's go through the starting lineups. First, it'll be Chuck Knobloch for the Yankees to lead off in left field. Derek Jeter, shortstop, will hit second. David Justice in right will hit third. Bernie Williams in center will bat cleanup. Tino Martinez at first hits fifth. Jorge Posada, the catcher, hits sixth. Alfonso Soriano at second base hits seventh. Scott Brocious at third hits eighth. And Mike Mussina, the pitcher, will bat ninth. No DH in this World Series. These are as-played lineups, so no DH. Mike Mussina will be using pitcher hitting card number 1. For the Diamondbacks, Tony Womack's at short, Craig Counsell's at second, Luis Gonzalez is in left, Reggie Sanders in right, Steve Finley in center, Matt Williams at third, Mark Grace catching, playing at first base rather, Damian Miller, the catcher, and Curt Schilling batting ninth, and he's also using pitcher hitting card number 1. So let's see how I want to get this done. No dice tray, going old school, using the regular old shuffling or mixing of the dice with the hands. Got the basic fielding chart and the basic strategy chart right here. Also have the rules under the basics, so in case I don't forget and I've been playing super advanced for so long, sometimes old habits die hard, and you try to make a basic game into bring in some of the super advanced or advanced rules, and it doesn't work very well. So we're going to try to avoid that from now on. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Let me do one last check. I think everything is in view. Got both line scores. The line score at the bottom is in view, and the lineups are in view. Card is in view. We're here, got a peg here for the outs, and then our base runners, once they get on base, put them in the dugout till they get on base. And I think we're ready to go. And I'll be setting the cards right next to each other, which kind of goes in line with the way the Strat-O-Matic is designed. The 1, 2, and 3 goes the batter card. 4, 5, and 6 to the pitcher card. So got them in line pretty much, hopefully where it looks decent. All right, so we are ready to go. This is basic only. No other rules whatsoever. Just basic only. The only thing I may do, the only thing I'm going to move away from is the runner advancement in the infield. If a runner's on second and the ball is hit to the right side, I will allow the runner to go to third no matter what the dice thing says, because that's just baseball. All right, basic Strat. Here we go. I'm trying to decide if I want to roll here or roll here. I think I'll roll on the clipboard. I think it'll give me more room, because if I go over here, it might, well, I don't know. Let's see. See, the white die gets flown way over there when I do that. So anyway, we're underway. 5-6. That means we're under shilling, and that's a strikeout. So right away, out number 1. Move the peg over to the outs for 1, and Knobloch is gone on that 5-6 put out. And in case you're curious on super advanced, 5-6 would have been a ground ball to short on the super advanced side, but on the basic side, it turns into a strikeout. That'll bring up Derek Jeter. That's the only time I'm going to reference that. So now I'm going to roll. I think I'm going to roll on the score sheet. I think that makes more sense. We can see more things. And that is a 6-6, and that's another strikeout. So Schilling doesn't care where I roll. He's putting in those strikeouts. So 2 straight strikeouts. Of course, they've both been off the pitcher's card, and that's the argument against the 50-50 is, you know, one side gets to dominate everything. But I think over the course of a season, if you're doing a season replay, that evens out. Even the course of a game, I think it evens out. And it just means that in those 2 at-bats, Schilling got the advantage. All right, here's Justice. Of course, there's, you know, get a whole discussion on the merits of a 50-50 versus not a 50-50. Here's Justice, 1-6. And that's a ground ball to third, and that's going to end the inning. But whether you agree with the 50-50 or not, the whole point is it's a hobby and it's meant to be fun. So if you're having fun playing the game, it doesn't matter if it's 50-50 or non-50-50. The point is you are having fun. But you want a sense of realism too, and I don't think you can get much more realistic than Strat-O-Matic because their ratings are so good. And the design of the game is so good too, because when you roll 2d6s, your most obvious rolls, or the ones that are going to come up most often, is 6, 7, and 8. And based on the stats on the card, they put their most likely events to happen on 6, 7, and 8. So, you know, the things that don't happen as often, they put down on 12, because you just don't get a 12 all that often. So, you know, like I said, it's all personal preference. That's why there's so many games out there. If you don't like Strat, there's you know, there's probably about at least 10 other games I can think of off the top of my head. So it's a buyer's market out there. You can pick your poison. 2-5, Womack off his own card. 2-5 is a 1-12 double. That's a 1, so it will be a double for Womack. So Womack gets on second base with a leadoff double right off the get-go. Womack with a double. He's aboard. That'll bring up Craig Counsell, the second baseman. We get a 2-5, and that's 2-5 is going to be a single. Now, according to the Strat-O-Matic rules in Basic, and not the dog barking. That's not according to the Strat-O-Matic rules. The dog barking is not the Strat-O-Matic rules. The Strat-O-Matic rules in Basic is when you get 1 base per hit. Like a single is 1 base, a double, the runners advance 2 bases. I'm talking about base runners, not the batter, and so forth. There are also stars. So when there's a star behind the single, that gives you definite, that's how they advance. There's no option. But when there's no stars, you get the option of trying to advance or to stay put. And in the basic game, all you're doing is taking the run rating of the batter. Of the runner. The outfielder arm does not come into play. So Womack, who's on base, runs at a 17. So basically, a 17 on the base runner advancement on hits. A 17, you're rolling a D20, and if it's a 17 or less, he's going to score. So the odds are definitely in your favor. So first of all, let's put the single here, and then we know Womack's going to round third and try to score. So anything other than an 18, 19, or 20, and Womack will score. It's a 15, so Womack slides in safely, and the Diamondbacks lead at 1-0 on the RBI single from Craig Counsell. So right off the bat, 1-0. Like I said, in the advanced game or super advanced game, you'd figure out where the single went, because the card would tell you it either. If it doesn't tell you, it goes to center. So that means we'd have the center fielder Bernie Williams be looking at his arm. Williams's arm is a +2, so that would have even helped even worse. So in that case, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. But in non-basic, you would use the arm of the outfielder. But in basic, it's just a straight rolling the D20 and nothing else is factored in. All right, so 1-0 D-backs here in the bottom of the first, and here's Luis Gonzalez. 5-8, that's a strikeout. So Mussina gets the strikeout. 1 down. Gonzalez is gone. And you can see that little ray of sunlight coming in through the window. It's kind of a, maybe even reminiscent of Bank One Ballpark. I don't know Bank One Ballpark all that well, but a lot of the retractable dome stadiums, even if the dome is closed, there's some windows there to allow light to come in. So that's what I'm kind of simulating here, or at least just the sunshine is for me. All right, here is Reggie Sanders, 6-9, and that's another strikeout for Mussina. He said, you can simulate the light all you want, I'll just do a strikeout. And that's out number 2. So Sanders is gone, 2 down for Steve Finley. And Council's a D stealer, so that's why I'm not trying to steal with him. Here is Finley, 6-10. That's a ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. But the D-backs get a run thanks to the double by Womack and the single by Council. And after 1 complete, it is Arizona 1 and the Yankees nothing. They have turned that lead over to Kurt Schilling. And it will be Bernie Williams to lead off, center fielder for the Yankees. I hope that light's not, well, I can't really tell through the phone. That glare may be a little bit much. Let's see if I can move. Boy, I don't know if I'm going to move Bernie Williams over here. Hopefully that takes some of that glare out of there. Don't know if that does that for Schilling or not. I could move Schilling up here. I don't know if that would help either. We'll see. Bernie Williams to Schilling. 4-10 and a 4-10. I'll move Schilling over here. 4-10 is a ground ball to second. I think that glare finally is going away a little bit, but it was intense there for a moment. So ground ball to second, 1 away. Bernie Williams is retired. And that will bring up Tino Martinez. Tino. 1-7 for Tino, and that is a strikeout. 1-8 would have been a homer, but 1-7 is a strikeout. That is out number 2. So just that close the Yankees came to getting a home run, but didn't happen. Here's Posada. That's a 2-6 for Posada, and he grounds it back to Schilling to end the inning. So I am a little bit out of my comfort zone playing the basic rules and using all these accoutrements. It's not my normal setup or style, so bear with me. Bottom of the second, Mussina will be facing third baseman Matt Williams, and it'll be Grace Miller and then the pitcher spot if anybody gets on base. But first things first, Matt Williams. We get a 3-4, and that's a strikeout plus injury. I'm not doing injuries, so we're just going to have a strikeout of Matt Williams. 1 down. You know what? I wonder if I ought to do injuries, though. I don't know. I've got to decide if I want to do them or not do them. So I need to make up my mind real quick. First of all, the Arizona Diamondbacks could bring in Greg Colburn as a third baseman. Now, you know what? I'm not going to worry about injuries. This is supposed to be a replay of an as-played game, so I really rather... He didn't get injured in the real game, so I'm not going to injure him here. So no injuries. I won't play with injuries. I probably should have said that in the beginning. Didn't think about it. Here's Mark Grace. That is a 4-5 on Mussina. That's a strikeout. Mussina gets another strikeout, out number 2. And that's going to take us to Damian Miller, the catcher. 2 outs, bases clear. Arizona still leads it 1-0. 2-10 off of Miller's card is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. At the end of 2, it is the Yankees trailing the D-backs 1-0. And Schilling back out. We'll be facing Soriano, Brocious, and Mussina using pitcher hitting card number 1. So first things first, it is Soriano. 2-7 for Soriano, and that's a split chance. 1 to 11 is a single, 12 to 20 is a line out. That's a 9, so it's a base hit for Soriano. Leadoff single for Alfonso Soriano. He is a double-A stealer, so you know he's going to try to steal. So as we refresh our memory on the basic stealing, we look at the catcher defensive rating to figure out the hold chance. Damian Miller, as a catcher, is a 2. So we come over here to the rule book. 2 means we're taking 3 away from the run rating. So if we look at the chart, double-A stealer starts at a 17. Take 3 away, it's a 14. So it's a 1 to 14 for Alfonso Soriano to steal it. And he's in there. And it's a 3. So on a 1, 2, or 3, and I believe that's still in the basic, that if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, there's a chance for a throwing error, or is there? Let me see. Actually, no, I don't think there is, because we're not doing T ratings in the basic. So never mind. In super advanced or advanced, that would have been a chance for a throwing error, but in basic, that's not going to happen. But it is a stolen base. All right, so Soriano's at second base with nobody out for Scott Brocious. That's why I said I got to be careful not to try to mix in other rules into this basic. 1-9 is a strikeout. That's a strikeout no matter what you're playing. 1 down, and that'll bring up the pitcher Mussina. And let's see how they want to play this. Do you bunt with Mussina, or just have him? I think they're having him swing away and try to get something off of Schilling's card, because he's already in scoring position. There's no point in bunting here. 5-10. They are off Schilling's card, but it's a strikeout nonetheless. So there's now 2 away. And it takes us to top of the order and Knobloch. If he can get a base hit, the Yankees can tie the game. 4-11. Ground ball pitcher X. Schilling is a 2. And that's a 13. So we take our basic fielding chart, find the pitcher, which is over here with the third baseman and first baseman. That's a 13. He's a 2. So we go to 2, scroll down to 13, and it's a 2-base error right there. 2-base error on Schilling. And that will bring home the run and put Knobloch at second base. So how about that? An E1, a 2-base E1 on Schilling. And that will score Soriano. And we are tied at a run apiece. Here's Jeter. 3-6 for Jeter. And it's a 1 to 9 single, but that's a 13, which means it's a line out to third. And that's going to end the inning. But the Yankees do tie it, courtesy of the 2-base error by Schilling. That did him in. That definitely did him in. And we go to the bottom of the third. Tied at 1. Leadoff hitter for the D-backs will be the pitcher, Curt Schilling. He's also hitting off pitcher hitting card number 1. 4-8, that's off of Mussina, and it is a strikeout. So 1 away. 1 down for Tony Womack. Womack doubled and scored his first time up. 1-7. He will ground it to the first baseman, Martinez. Take it to the bag himself. 2 down. And that brings us to Craig Counsell. Counsell, a 1-9. He strikes out, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 inning for Mussina. We played 3 from Arizona here in Game 1 of the 2001 World Series, and we're tied at a run apiece. It's the top of the 4th, and it'll be Justice the batter. Now in basic, pitcher fatigue is not factored, so if I wanted to, I could let both pitchers pitch all 9 innings. I'm going to try to play it realistically. Same with substitutions. There are no left-right factors in the basic game, but I'm going to manage as if they were a factor. So if a righty's on the mound, my first choice will be a lefty pinch hitter and vice versa. So here is Justice, the batter. 3-11. 3-11 is a leadoff walk to Justice. So Justice draws the leadoff walk. He's not a very good runner, especially a stealer. He's an E-stealer, so he won't go anywhere. But he is on base as the go-ahead run for Bernie Williams. Heart of the order coming up. Williams, Martinez, and Posada. 610. 610 is a ground ball third base X. That's a 3. Matt Williams is a 2. So we go over here to the same result. A 2 and a 3 is an out 1. 2 or 3 and an out 1. Out 1 says runners advance 1 base. So he made the play, but the runner advances to second. So it's going to be a 5-3 ground out with Justice going to second base. So Justice is in scoring position with 1 out for Tino Martinez, who struck out his first time. 1-8. And that's a straight up home run. There's no striking out there. Tino Martinez just went deep, a 2-run bomb, and the Yankees lead it 3-1. So Tino Martinez, home run city. He goes deep, and the Yankees lead it now 3-1 here in the 4th inning. 1 out, and here's Posada. 2-10, and he flies to right field. Hauled in by Sanders, 2 down. And that will take us to Alfonso Soriano. 4-8, and that's a double, 1-8, single 9-20, that's a 12, so it'll be a 2-out single for Soriano. And again, he stole last time, he's going to steal again. We already know it's a 1-14, we've already factored that in before with the catcher rating and the steal rating. So it's a 1-14 to steal it. And he does. He steals it again. So stolen base again for Soriano. He's gotten 2 stolen bases. And that'll put, what it does though, is it allows them possibly to walk Brocious because of the base open with 2 outs. And that's what they're going to do. They're not going to pitch to Brocious. They will walk him and pitch to Mussina instead. So Mussina will have to step in and try to make something happen. First and second with 2 down and 2 in. Yankees lead it 3-1. Mussina. Well, we're off the pitcher card. 4-10. Ground ball second base C. The C doesn't matter. It's just that's the 3rd out. Inning's over, but the Yankees do score 2. And they take a 3-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. So Mussina once trailed 1-0, but now they lead 3-1. Luis Gonzalez, the batter, struck out his first chance. 2-7, and that's going to be a strikeout. Another strikeout for Mussina. Getting the whiffs. He's getting some of those whiffs to come down. That'll bring up Reggie Sanders. 3-8 for Sanders, and that's a 1-2 home run. 3-20 he flies out, but that's a 6, so that's a fly out to left field. And Knobloch was able to haul it in for out number 2. Just missed the home run. 2 down for Steve Finley, the center fielder. 5-11, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Jeter is a 2, that's a 7. Go to our defensive chart. Shortstop 2 and a 7 is an out 3. Doesn't matter about the out, it's just a regular ground out because the bases are empty. And the inning's over. So nothing doing for the D-backs here in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the 5th. Still 3-1 Yankees. Kurt Schilling facing the top of the order, and Chuck Knobloch, or as Chris Berman called him, Chuck New Kids on Knobloch. 5-8. Schilling struck him out. 1 down to start the 5th with a strikeout. And now the glare is back, but hopefully the shadows have now moved a little bit, so it's more on this part of the field, not on the cards. So 1 out. 4-5. That's under Schilling. That's another strikeout. So Schilling gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning. 2 down. See that sunshine is kind of dipping in and out amongst the clouds. It was raining earlier. Now the sun's trying to peek out. At an inopportune time, obviously. Here's Justice. 5-10. That's another strikeout. So Schilling strikes out the side here in the 5th to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's still a 3-1 ball game in favor of the Yankees. Mike Mussina back out. Will be facing Mark Grace to to lead off. Could be Grace. I'm sorry, it'd be Williams, not Grace. Got them out of order. My bad. Williams and then Grace. And then Miller. Don't want to bat out of order. 1-6. Struck him out. So Williams is out of there. And that brings up Matt Grace. 2-6 for Grace, and he's going to walk. That's a 1-out walk to Grace. He's aboard. He's an East dealer, though, so he will not try anything. But the tying run is now to Plate and Damian Miller. 1-7 for Miller. That's a 1-12 single, but that's an 18, which means he lines it to second for out number 2 as Soriano snags it. So 2 down. And that'll bring up the pitcher spot, Schilling. He's still going to stay in there. Still too early to pinch hit for him. He's still in there. 5-11, and we're off the pitcher card anyway. 5-11 is ground ball, shortstop X. That's an 11. Jeter is a 2. Go right back to the basic fielding chart. A 2 and an 11 is an out 3. Look at that. A 10 and a 9 would have been an error, but an 11 is an out. So that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the D-backs. And we've completed 5 innings of play. It's still 3-1 Yankees. And it will be Bernie Williams to lead it off. Williams, Martinez, and Posada in that order to start the 6th. 3-1 Yankees. 4-9 for Schilling. 1-18 is a home run. That's a 14. It is gone. Bernie Williams deposits one. This was off of Schilling's card, so he has no one to blame but himself. He gave it up. Home run. It is now 4-1 Yankees as they're taking it to Schilling. And Schilling may need relief here soon. Here's Tino. Martinez, 5-7. Ground ball shortstop X, that is Womack, and Womack's a 3, and that's a 2. So shortstop, a 3 and a 2 is going to be a single. Single for Tino Martinez. And now Schilling really in trouble. And he just hit, so they couldn't pinch hit for him now because he's too far away. Here's Posada. 4-12, that's a strikeout. So Schilling needed that one in a big way. 1 down. And it's going to bring up Soriano. 4-8, and that's a 1-8 double. 9-20 is a single. That's an 11. It's a single with 2 stars on it, so that means the runner goes to third automatically. No rolls to have to check on that. That is a single 2 stars, or single 2 bases is another way to look at it. And that puts runners at the corners with 1 out, and Brocious the batter. Do you try for a double play? Brocious does have a couple of double play chances on his card. So I think they're going to still lay in double play position. Not infield in, but double play position. Schilling can use a strikeout. 5-6, and he gets it. So Schilling gets the strikeout he needs. That's 2 down. And that's going to send us to Mussina, the pitcher. And you're not pinch hitting from Mussina. So Mussina will get a chance, but Schilling gets a chance to get out of the inning now with only 1 run in. Needs to get this off the pitcher hitting card, not off his own card. But it's off his own card. 5-4, but it still works. It's a strikeout. So Schilling gets the strikeout to end the inning. Yankees leave 2 on. They do score 1. It's now 4-1 in favor of the Yankees. 4-1 ball game. Top of the order for the D-backs. Tony Womack is on against Mussina. 4-5, and that's a 1-9 home run. I'm sorry, I'm looking at 5-5. 4-5 is a strikeout. 4-5 is a strikeout. I have to look at the right column. 4-5 is, in fact, a strikeout. Mussina was like, what are you doing? Look at the right column here. Craig Counsell. 4-12, and that's a ground ball back to Mussina. That's out number 2. 2 easy outs. And that brings up Luis Gonzalez. 4-2, and that's a ground ball to second. Soriano's right there. Innings over. 1, 2, 3. Nothing doing for the D-backs. We go to the 7th. Still 4-1, and now Tabby wants to get over here. I'm trying to keep Tabby off the table as best I can. But sometimes Tabby has her own, does her own thing. But it looks like she's turning around, so I don't have to worry about that, hopefully. Hopefully she will not just jump up here arbitrarily. That's what I'm hoping. All right, here is Knobloch. 6-5, and that's a strikeout from Schilling. So Schilling gets the K for out number 1. That brings up Derek Jeter. 4-10, ground ball to second. So 2 quick outs here in the 7th. 2 quick outs, and that'll bring up Justice. 1-8 for Justice is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down. 7th inning stretch we go. Sing your Take Me Out to the Ball games, or whatever the tradition is at 7th inning stretch. And Mike Mussina is on to face Reggie Sanders. 4-1 Yankees, starting the bottom of the 7th. Sanders, 2-4. That's a leadoff walk. That's a good start for the D-backs. They need base runners. When you're down by 3, you need base runners. So it's always good to get the leadoff man on. And down 4-1, they're not even going to consider stealing. You don't want to run yourself out of an inning like that. Here's Steve Finley. 6-4. That's a fly ball center field X. That's a 7. Center fielder Bernie Williams is a 2. So we go to the outfield, and in basic, right, left, and center are all considered one thing. So it was a fly ball to center. That's a 7, and Bernie Williams is a 2. So we go to 2. Look at 7. That's an out 5. Out 5 says runner on third scores, but the runner's only on first. So it's just a fly ball to center. Would have been a sacrifice fly had the base running situation presented itself, but it did not. So 1 out, 1 on for Matt Williams. 4-5, and that's another strikeout from Mussina. He likes that 4-5 section, and he strikes out Matt Williams. That brings up Mark Grace. 2-5. 2-5 on the Grace card is a 1-9 single. That is a 9, so it's a 1 star. It does tell on the card you only get 1 star. So even with 2 outs, the base runner only goes 1 base. But it does bring the tying run to the plate in the catcher, Damian Miller. He did have 13 home runs on the season, so he is capable of a home run if the role presents itself. Mussina has no home runs on his own card, on his pitcher card, but if you roll a 3-6, there's a chance of a home run. So you say there's a chance. I know there was a movie or something that had that line in it. Just don't remember what it was. But anyway, Grace, let me write this in, single. So first and second, 2 down for Damian Miller, I'm sorry. 3-5, and 3-6 was the home run, but 3-5 still a single, 2 stars. And that will put runners at the corners, and 1 run will come in. So base hit for Miller, and that will score Reggie Sanders from second base on the 2 stars, and it will send Matt Grace to third. Puts runners at the corners. A run is in now. It's 4-2, and now we're at the pitcher spot, so they're going to have to pinch hit for Curt Schilling. There is no 6 ways about it. You have to do that. And now I'm looking at the bench of players available for the D-backs, and I'm going for the best left-handed hitter I can find. And that is Let me backtrack. Euribiel Durazo, I think is how it's pronounced. He's a .269 hitter with 12 home runs, and he's left-handed. So Durazo will pinch hit in a big spot. He's got a chance to drive home another run with a base hit. He could do it. Mussina trying to settle it down. 6-9, struck him out. So Mussina gets the strikeout, and the inning is over. And that's another one of the 50-50 arguments, I guess, as I brought in the pinch hitter, but he never got a chance to have any say in the matter. That's just the way it goes. Mussina, in my mind, Mussina just outfoxed him. And that's just the way it went. But you can make your arguments all day long, I suppose. All right, so D-backs get a run, cut the lead to 4-2, and now we need a new pitcher for Arizona. As Schilling had to be pinch hit for. It'll be Williams, a switch hitter, followed by Martinez, a lefty, and Posada, a switch hitter. So we're going to go with a left-hander, Greg Swindell. I'm just, like I said, trying to play, even though lefty-righty doesn't factor in the basic game, I'm still trying to manage as though it does. So Swindell will be coming on. Schilling goes 7 innings, facing 30 batters. See how many hits he gave up. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits I've got him for. Let's see here. One of these runs is unearned, so it's 4 runs with only 3 are earned. He did give up the 2 long balls, 1 to Martinez and 1 to Williams. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. He walked 1, 2, 3. So he walked 3. 1 was intentional out of the 3. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got him for 12 strikeouts. So he definitely had the strikeout pitch rolling. But he's on the losing end of a 4-2 game right now as we start the 8th. Greg Swindell facing Bernie Williams. That is a 3-7 for Bernie Williams, and he's going to pop it up to third. 1 down. Bernie Williams is out of there. Brings up Tino Martinez. 6-7, 6-7. 1 to 7 is a triple. 8 to 20 is a double. That's a 7. So Tino Martinez, he had 2 triples on the season. He gets one right here, and he's at third base with only 1 out, and that's going to force Arizona to bring the infield in. And Tino Martinez is a double short of the cycle. Home run, single, and now a triple. Only problem is he most likely will not get another at bat to try for that double. But the infield's going to have to come in now. They have no choice. Runners at third with 1 out, so the play is to play the infield in. And I may have to consult the rule book on this because I haven't played infield in with basic in a while. So I'll have to see if there's any nuances that I need to worry about. Right now, Swindell to Posada. 2-9. Strikeout, didn't matter. Struck him out. Now the infield can go back to normal. Swindell with a big strikeout. That brings up Soriano now. Do they let him pitch to Soriano? They're going to bring in a right-hander to face Soriano. Like I said, basic it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to manage as though it does. So Swindell goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up a hit, and he got a strikeout. We don't know about the run because the runner on base is his responsibility. But they will turn to the bullpen, and it'll be a right-hander that'll be coming on, and it will be Young Kim, the Korean. He is their closer, but when you're down 4-2 and you got 2 outs and the runner at third, it's like a save to keep him from getting anything further. So there's no sense in holding back and holding him out for any reason. So he is on. Kim is on to face Soriano. 4-8, and he walked him, so that's not good. You don't want to do that if you're Kim. He walks him, and that brings up Scott Brocious, and I believe Brocious took him deep in the actual series in game either 3 or 4. I think Brocious connected against him, so he's trying to avoid that. Facing Brocious. 4-5. 4-5, struck him out, so that time he strikes him out, and that's going to end the inning. And keeps the score right where it is as the Yankees leave them with runners on the corners. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Mussina's still out there to start the 8th. Bullpen for the Yankees is stirring down there, though. They do have some activity. Mike Stanton, a lefty, is loosening down there. Of course, they still have Mariano Rivera in the hole in case they need him. Mussina is set to lead off in the 9th, so we figured at most they're going to let him pitch this inning, then they'll probably take him out. Well, here's Womack to start the 8th. 5-10. That's a ground ball. Third base X, that's a 3. Third baseman, Brocious, is a 3. So we go over here to third baseman. A 3 and a 3 is a single. So leadoff single for Tony Womack, and he is an A stealer, so he may be looking to run here. We shall see. We'll look at what Posada, we don't want to have him thrown out, though. That's the one thing you don't want to do when you're down by 2. That could curtail the running game. Let's see. Posada is a 3, which means it's a -2 on his stealing attempt. As an A stealer, he would steal at a 15. -2 is a 13. So the question is, do you want to try a 1-13 steal and risk having him thrown out when you're down 4-2? I think they're going to hold him back and just let him stay there. So here's Council. And this may be the last batter from Mussina because Mike Stanton is ready to take on Gonzalez, the lefty, coming up. So see what Mussina does. 2-8. That's a ground ball, first base A, and it's a double play. 3-6-3. Wow. So maybe we should have sent him, but you know, you never know how things are going to work out. That just happened to be a bad roll for Council. He hit into the double play. And now with 2 outs and the bases clear, they're going to let Mussina stay in there and pitch to Gonzalez. 5-9, struck him out. So he got some juice on that last double play, and he strikes him out. And that's going to be it for Mussina. He's going to go 8 innings and give up just the 2 runs. And they were both earned. He ends up facing 30 batters, just like Schilling did. And let's see. No home runs allowed. He walks. He walked. Let's see. 1. He only walked. I only got him for 1 walk, walking Reggie Sanders, and he scored. That was the 1 walk. Strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 strikeouts. It's a lot of strikeouts on both sides. Both starting pitchers had 12 strikeouts. Hits allowed. 1, 2. No, I'm sorry, he walked 2. He didn't walk 1. He walked 2 there. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got him for 5 hits allowed. But it's going to be Mariano Rivera time in the 9th for the Yankees. But first, the Yankees have a chance to increase the lead, possibly, against Byung-Hyun Kim. And Mussina will now come out for a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter will be Paul O'Neill. Taking the best left-hander off the bench, and it's Paul O'Neill. So Paul O'Neill will lead things off in the pinch hitting role against Byung-Hyun Kim. Paul O'Neill. Kind of wonder why he didn't start the game, but that's just the way the lineups were. All right, O'Neill leads off against Kim, 4-2, Yankees, top of the 9th. 2-7, and that's a 1-14 double, 15-20 is a single. That's a 17, so it's a leadoff single for Paul O'Neill. Paul O'Neill with a leadoff single. He is an A stealer, so he's going to be looking to get a jump. He stole 22 bases on the season, only caught 3 times. So as an A stealer, let's see, Miller is a 2 defensive rating, so that takes 3 away from his run rating, or his steal rating. A stealer steals at a 15, so that'd be a 12. 1-12, but when you got a 2-run lead, you can take chances. So 1-12, he's going to try to steal. And he makes it. Stolen base. That's the advantage of having a 2-run lead instead of being down by 2, is you can take chances. If he gets thrown out, so what? All right, so we can put the pressure on Kim. Here's Knobloch. 3-7 for Knobloch. Ground ball to third, but that would have been a double play had they not stolen. That would have been a double play. As it is, he will hold it second. But they prevented the double play by stealing. And maybe I should have done that with Arizona, but if he gets caught stealing, then you look silly too. So that's the perils of being a manager. Here's Jeter. 2-6 for Jeter. He's going to pop it up to short. Womack makes the catch, 2 down, and O'Neill is still at second base. That'll bring up Justice, the left-hander. And let's see what they do. First base is open, but I don't think they want to pitch to Bernie Williams, so they're going to pitch to Justice. 5-7, struck him out, got him, ends the inning. So Kim goes an inning and a third, faces 6 batters, gives up 1 hit, no runs. He walks 1, strikes out 2, and keeps the game at 4-2 as we go to the 9th for Mr. Rivera. Inner Sandman, I guess is what they play, or used to play back in the day. And it'll be Reggie Sanders to lead it off for the Diamondbacks against Mariano Rivera. 4-6, 2.34 ERA and 50 saves in the 2001 season. So it'll be Sanders followed by Finley and Williams. So kind of the heart of the order for the Diamondbacks. But can they make hay against Mr. Rivera? 4-2. Rivera to Sanders. 110, and that's a ground ball to short for 1 away. So again, that's one of the 50-50 arguments is you bring in Rivera to close and the first result is off the pitcher card, which Rivera has no impact on. But that's just the way it happens. Do you want the batter to have no impact? I mean, you've got to split it up somehow. And I don't know in this game engine how you could incorporate both batter and pitcher hitting. That would be kind of weird. I don't know how they would work that out. So it's been around since, what, 61? So got to be doing something right. Finley, 1-4. And that's a pop out to second. That's out number 2. So Rivera has gotten 2 outs without even using his own card. So, you know, there you go. Batters get themselves out sometimes. Here's Matt Williams' last chance for the D-backs. That's a 5-10. We are under Rivera's card. It's a fly ball center field X. That's a 15. Bernie Williams in center is a 2. We go to the defensive chart for the outfield. 2 and a 15. A 2 and a 15. And that's a single and an error batted to second on the 15. The 2 and the 15 is a single plus an error. So how about that? Runner gets to second base. Single plus the error, E8. Now both teams with an error. And how about that? The first chance to get off Rivera's card, and he gives up a hit versus and also an error. So, like I said, you never know. All right, Mark Grace is the tying run. He did have 15 home runs on the season. He has 1 spot for a home run here on a 3-4. Would be the only chance he has for a home run. Would be if he rolled a 3-4. Other than that, he can still get base hits though. That's a 3-3. Boy, how close did that come? But it's going to be a walk. Boy, 3-4 would have been the home run. That's a 3-4. It is a walk. It does put the tying runs on base for Damian Miller, but do you pinch hit for Miller is the question. Let's look at the bench, see if the D-backs have anybody better than Miller. Miller is a 271 hitter they've already used. You know what? They're going to bring in Danny Bautista because he's a 300 hitter, and they're going to go down guns a-blazing. So Danny Bautista is a 302 hitter. He will pinch hit for Miller, and if they somehow send it to extra innings, they do have a backup catcher by the name of Rod Barajas that they could bring in to catch if it got to that. But that's least of their worries right now is that they're trying to get some runs in against Rivera. 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 4-2, Yankees lead. Bautista, the pinch hitter against Rivera. 4-4, and that struck him out. Rivera strikes him out to end the ball game. So the Yankees hold on to win it 4-2, and Rivera goes 1 inning, faces 5 batters, gives up a hit, no runs, obviously, did walk a batter, and he got a strikeout. And more importantly, he gets the save. The win goes to Mussina, the loss goes to Schilling. And let's look at the hits. Yankees got 7 hits, and the D-backs got 6 hits. Let's look at left on base. For the Yankees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yankees left 8 on. For the D-backs, they left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They left 6 on. All right, so let's clear all the cards and everything out of the way so I can bring the score sheet more into the forefront. Hopefully that's showing. Let me look through the phone to make sure that's showing. Okay, I think it is now. All right, so the final score, Yankees win it 4-2 on this Manic Monday. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 8 left for the Yankees. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 6 left for the D-backs. Winning pitcher was Mike Mussina, and the loser was Curt Schilling. And the save goes to Mr. Enter Sandman himself in Mariano Rivera. So I hope you enjoyed that Manic Monday. A little bit different take on Strat-O-Matic with the basic version, using all the accoutrements of the little pegs and using the original Strat-O-Matic dice, the little small things there, and no dice tray, using, rolling for myself and whatnot. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.